Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we are going to be reviewing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 32-6 win versus the Carolina Panthers. If you guys are new here, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button if you do enjoy these types of videos, and leave your thoughts about this game down in the comment section below. I want to get this out of the way first. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have advanced to an 11-4 record, which means that for the first time since 2007, all the way back when Jeff Garcia was the quarterback of this team, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, my Tampa Bay Buccaneers, are the NFC South Division champions, which is absolutely amazing, absolutely awesome given all the stuff the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have had to deal with this year with injuries, and illness policies, and all these other different types of things, right? They've had a lot of obstacles to overcome. They won the NFC South. That is awesome. That is huge. Congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for being NFC South champions. But let's go ahead and start reviewing this game. And folks, I'm going to go right down the list, right? From offense, defense, to special teams, all the things that were good. First person I got to talk about, Tom Brady. 18-30, 232 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, was not sacked a single time either. So shout out to the offensive line for that. Tom Brady did a really, fine job today, right? He didn't have to do too much today because, thankfully the running game was really strong. Don't worry, we'll get to that in a moment. But the running game was really strong. Overall, Brady was efficient enough as a passer, especially given the circumstances of what he was working with. And some guys did step up in that receiving core. Again, we'll talk about that in a moment. Tom Brady also did have 11 yards rushing in this game, which I just thought was hilarious. He had a first down 11-yard scramble on a play. Everybody had a heart attack, basically, understandably so. But hey, Brady's just showing he's a dual threat quarterback, right? But again, Brady thought, I think that Brady did a good job in this game. He did what he needed to do to help his team win, and was efficient, I think. So I'm definitely going to say that he had a good game in this one versus the Panthers. Moving on now to the rushing attack, Ronald Jones, 20 carries, 65 yards, 1 touchdown. Keshawn Vaughn, 7 carries, 70 yards, 1 touchdown. Keshawn Vaughn had a 55-yard touchdown to start the game. It was absolutely amazing. I was happy to see Vaughn get a play like that. I think that does nothing but, raise the confidence of a young player who honestly hasn't been getting a ton of opportunities the past couple of years. Vaughn getting that 55-yard touchdown there, I thought was huge. Ronald Jones, he did what he needed to do in this game. 3.3 yards a carry isn't great overall, but he still got a touchdown, and I think he still did a fine job. Cyril Grayson had a 14-yard end-around rush today as well. I thought that it was a great play, and we'll talk about Cyril Grayson more here in a moment. But, overall, the rushing attack, this honestly was one of the best games for the Buccaneers rushing attack all season. Including that 55-yard run. If you take that away, of course, it looks like an entirely different rushing attack. But overall, it did happen. Vaughn had a good game. Ronald Jones had a good game, in my opinion. They both scored touchdowns, which is great. The rushing attack looked really good today, and I think it was a big part of the Buccaneers' offensive game plan today. Especially with all the guys that they had out, with Leonard Fournette being out, with all the wide receivers being out. The Buccaneers had to rely on guys like Jones and Vaughn, and they stepped up, which is a great thing to see. In the receiving core, guys, it was basically 2 people. It was Antonio Brown, who finished this game with 15 targets, 10 receptions, and 101 receiving yards. Brown looked fantastic in his first game coming back from suspension. He is definitely in prove-it mode, and he proved today that he is fantastic. And he needed to step up in the absence of Mike Evans, in the absence of Chris Godwin, and he did. He really did. He did a fantastic job today. He looked like a star number 1 wide receiver out there. He was beating the Panthers cornerbacks left, right, and center. He did great. Cyril Grayson, 3 targets today, 3 receptions, 81 yards, but if you include that end around, it puts Cyril Grayson at 95 total scrimmage yards on the day. He was another guy who stepped up. He had a 62-yard reception on the day, which was great. Again, in the absence of some of the Buccaneers starting wide receivers and Brashad Perriman as well, Cyril Grayson came in and stepped up in a huge, huge way, and he looked really good as a blocker as well. I am not going to understate that. He made some very crucial blocks on first down runs, which I thought was huge. It definitely begs the question, should they keep Cyril Grayson on the active roster here, even whenever all the other wide receivers come back? It's an interesting question to have, and I'm going to be curious to see what the answer is. But, for right now, this game, Cyril Grayson stepped up in a huge, huge way when he needed to, and I'm just happy for him, man. I think that is awesome. Moving on to the defensive side of the football now, guys. First guy I got to talk about, the game MVP is who I had there, Jordan Whitehead. 7 total tackles, 3 passes defended, and an interception as well. He also did a very good job as a blitzing safety in this game. Jordan Whitehead did everything today. He was everywhere doing everything. It seemed like he was basically a part of every single offensive play that the Panthers were running. He was somewhere around the football. Again, Jordan Whitehead is, kind of easing his way back from injury, and he looked fantastic in this game today. One of the better Jordan Whitehead games I think we have ever seen in his career. And, I asked a lot of people in the live chat during the reaction live stream, should the Tampa Bay Buccaneers re-sign Jordan Whitehead? I believe an overwhelming, 85% said yes, and, we'll see what happens. Whitehead, with games like this, he's a guy who could leave in free agency and really make some good money. So we'll see if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can keep him. But in this game, he was a big contributor to the Buccaneers defense, shutting out the Carolina Panthers, preventing them from scoring, a single touchdown in this game. They only got 2 field goals out of this game. Jordan Whitehead was a big, big part of that. Kevin Minter, I thought, filled in well for Levante David. 5 total tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 quarterback hit. He didn't give you exactly, what you see from Levante David, but overall I thought Minter was a very solid player in this game. He was capable. He did what he needed to do. Shaq Barrett finished this day with 4 total tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, 2 passes defended, and a quarterback hit. Unfortunately, we don't have any updates on Shaq Barrett's injury. Once there are updates on that, again, as always, I will make a video explaining what those updates are. Sean Murphy-Bunting had a pretty decent day today as well. 4 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass deflection. I thought he looked good. Grant Stuard, friend of the channel, I thought looked good on defense and on special teams. He finished the day with 4 total tackles. Vita Vea, 3 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 1 quarterback hit. Steve McClendon had a half sack as well. Anthony Nelson had a sack and a tackle for loss, as well as 2 quarterback hits. There was just guys all over the map, right, in terms of pass rush. The Buccaneers finished this day with 7 total sacks, but the star of the Buccaneers pass rush today, of all people, was Will Golston. 3 total tackles, 2.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 3 quarterback hits. He was the star of the pass rush today, which is something you don't usually see from Will Golston. It's not that he's a bad pass rusher. It's just that he's more of a run-stopping type of defensive lineman, but he showed his pass rushing skills today, as did the entirety of the Buccaneers defense. 7 sacks, 11 quarterback hits, 8 passes defended, 8 tackles for loss. All in all, a fantastic game by the Buccaneers defense. They had that continuity that they had coming away from the Saints game in spades, man. I mean, they looked fantastic, the Buccaneers defense did today. And overall, they did a fantastic job. Finally, guys, a couple of more things I want to note here. First things first, Ryan Suckup. He made all of his kicks today, 4 for 4 on the field goals, 2 for 2 on the extra points. And, hey, Sterling Hoffrichter, I thought did a good job filling in for Bradley Pinion. 3 punts, 1 punt inside the 20. I'm going to give the young man credit. He came in on very, very short notice, and overall, I thought he did a good job. And, I want to end this with this point. Remember how I've talked about before, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they haven't had many games this year where they play 4 quarters as an entire team on offense, on defense, and on special teams. This was a game like that. The Buccaneers played all 4 quarters like a complete team. This is what you hope this team looks like every single week. And I know it's against the Carolina Panthers. I know they now have a 5-10 record. But regardless, this team looked complete. They looked good in all aspects of the game today. And I think that that's as much as you can ask for. Can you nitpick and say, well, they had more opportunities to score touchdowns rather than field goals? Yes, you can. Can you nitpick on some throws and some runs? You can. But guys, at the end of the day, when I'm looking at this situation as a whole, this was a complete team win by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hands down, simple as that. They looked great in all aspects of the game. You hope that the team would look like this every single week. That's like the prayer, right? Unfortunately, that can't happen every single week, but we'll take it for this week as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, again, move on to an 11-4 record, and they win the NFC South. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts about this game down in the comment section below. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, congrats to the Bucs for winning the NFC South. That is not an easy feat to accomplish. But anyway, guys, I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.